Yo, what is going on, guys? So, today, the topic of discussion for this video is why haven't we gotten Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi returning back to work on another Spider-Man film? Um, so, over the last, I would say, actually, it's been a long time. Like, I'd say the last 10 plus years. Even people who aren't big fans of the Sam Raimi trilogy, even people who aren't big fans, have all expressed interest, heavy interest, in seeing Sam Raimi make another Spider-Man movie as a continuation to his trilogy, to continue the movies, right? There have been multiple rumors. Thomas Hayden Church last year, the year before that, back in 2014, 2015, when The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was deemed bad, which now looking back, it's not the best movie, but it actually became its own classic. Same thing with The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one with Andrew. Looking back, those movies became classics. But the point here is that even back when The Amazing Spider-Man failed, and even back to when, Sony was having issues with Marvel in regards to Tom Holland, the fans took over the internet by storm. And Spider-Man 4, hashtag Spider-Man 4 was trending multiple times throughout the years. Not just once, not just twice. I mean multiple times. There have been directors, real movie directors in Hollywood, expressing their love and their interest for another movie being made with Tobey Maguire, directed by Sam Raimi, another Spider-Man. So, not only do we have the fans, millions of people starting petitions, hashtags, whole communities based off of the premise of a fourth Spider-Man movie for the last decade. Not only that, but we've had producers, composers, and directors expressing their interest. There was recently a director, I'm sure one of you guys will be able to correct me on this because I forget. I think there was a director that just came out this month that said he would like to see a Logan-style Tobey Maguire movie, and that he would actually like to direct it or be involved in it in some way. And it baffles my mind because you hear a lot about movies that haven't had a sequel for so long, and you hear about people saying that, it wouldn't it be nostalgic, wouldn't it be nice? Like, you have Blade, you have other various movies where people have their little cult fan base where they, it's almost like it's so far from reality that you kind of just don't give it much importance and sweep it under the rug. Like, you don't give much importance to people who still want a Blade sequel because we know the likelihood of that. I mean, well, now the likelihood's actually very likely, but, being realistic here, the Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man fans, like, they're universal. People who don't like Sam Raimi Spider-Man and who like Andrew, or vice versa, or people who like Tom and don't like the other two, everyone mutually agrees when it comes to Spider-Man 4 being made. The people who may not be the biggest fans of it, even they admit that they would love to see Spider-Man 4 and that, by now it's long overdue. And like I was saying, it baffles me that Sony can use Tobey Maguire to come back in No Way Home, and they don't use the traction from No Way Home to make sequels to The Amazing Spider-Man and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. I made a video already like this, but I just wanted to kind of do another one talking about specifically Spider-Man 4, because it's not that hard with today's technology to make a good movie with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I mean, even though he's older now, we have Arnold, who's in his fucking 70s still being Terminator. I just I just don't understand the thought process behind it, because I understand that right now they're working on the new movie Brand New Day. But my thing is this. They had all them years. Well, they had probably 2, maybe 3 years to, well, I'm talking about if you consider No Way Home after No Way Home came out. They had the opportunity. They had the opportunity to make it. And Sam Raimi has expressed his interest multiple times. He's expressed his interest multiple times in making Spider-Man 4 on various interviews. And yet, nothing comes out of it. And as time goes by, Tobey Maguire is getting gray hair and he's getting old. The guy's 50. And yeah, like at this point, I think my thoughts have become very pessimistic on seeing Tobey Maguire return again. Because we never thought we'd see him return when he came back in No Way Home. But when it comes to his own solo movie, which he definitely deserves, a Spider-Man 4, simply because of the high demand of it and because of the quality of the last 3, and also because Spider-Man 3 was one of the movies where people actually really like it now that time has gone by too. Even though it wasn't the best and it had a lot of villains, Sam Raimi didn't get a chance to close out his story the way he wanted to. He wasn't satisfied with Spider-Man 3. And excuse me. Excuse me, guys. But Sam Raimi, he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do with Spider-Man 3, thanks to Sony's involvement and trying to rush a story that they wanted. So, honestly, guys, I don't think we're ever going to get a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. I'm sorry to tell you. Usually I'm the guy that's very optimistic about things like this. I think that No Way Home was the last hurrah for Tobey Maguire. And I hate to admit it. I really, really hate to admit it, because I feel like I could probably die in peace knowing that Spider-Man 4 actually exists. Even if the movie is not great, at least the movie exists, I would want nothing more than to see a full 2-hour movie of Tobey Maguire being an older Spider-Man with his original suit, not that fucking CGI shit that they put on him in No Way Home, with that fucked up mask. But yeah, it's not gonna happen. And honestly, if it did happen, so many people would go see this movie. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Sony. I don't know why they're prioritizing Tom, which I could see why. He's getting older. He doesn't want to be Spider-Man that much longer. But Tobey's getting older. What's wrong with having 2 Spider-Man in the theaters at once? It's like someone is presenting you with a bag of money and you're actively avoiding receiving the money. It's free money. If somebody gives you a bag of $100,000, are you just going to ignore it and act like it's not there? Probably not. And Sony is doing just that. Instead of taking advantage and utilizing Spider-Man in a great way, they decided to make shitty movies like Craven and Madam Web, instead of calling up Andrew Garfield and making The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And instead of calling Sam Raimi and making Spider-Man 4 and letting him have full creative control over that story. So yeah, we have Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds doing their thing at their age, their old age, making millions in the box office, but yet Tobey Maguire can't seem to get more, I guess I wouldn't say opportunities, but when it comes to Spider-Man, it just seems like they're avoiding him like the plague. And he's actually the most demanded superhero out of all these superheroes that people want, including DC. I would say Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is like one of the top 3 superheroes that people are actually dying to see, like on the big screen. And that's crazy considering that the dude didn't have that much screen time in No Way Home. Neither did Andrew. And his last movie came out in 2007. It's crazy. Same thing with Wesley Snipes. He hasn't been in a Blade movie even longer than that gap between, like, he hasn't been in anything. And when his cameo was in, when they had his cameo in Wolverine Deadpool, people went fucking crazy. And people were actually saying that they wanted him to get a solo movie. There's people right now saying that they want Wesley Snipes to do a solo movie. I mean, they already fired that one guy, Marshala Ali or whatever. They got rid of him. I don't know why they got rid of him, but there's people who are saying they want to see Wesley Snipes as an old man in a new Blade movie. And it just goes to show you that just because something looks good on paper, or just because you think it's going to make you money, sometimes you have to use your logical brain, or sometimes you actually have to put your logical brain aside and, think and also feel. And feel with your emotions and think with your brain. But when you lean towards one or the other too much, there's disaster. And honestly, these corporations, Sony especially, are thinking so much with their logical brain and looking at things from such a black and white perspective that they can't imagine that doing what the fans would want them to do would actually get them the money and even more than what they want. And look, I'm not surprised with the downgrade in quality of movies nowadays and all of the wokeness and shit ruining movies. They took the term woke that was originally used to represent people who are aware of the Illuminati and secret occultists and the Freemasons, and now woke has a different term, which is being used for people trying to insert propaganda and implant thoughts in your brain through media. So there's that. But yeah, guys, that's all I have to say. I'm really sad because I can tell you guys, we're not going to see Tobey again in his own solo movie, at least for Spider-Man. He's getting up there in age, and if they wanted to do it, I feel like they would have did it by now. Let me know what you guys think. Personally, I would want nothing more to see Spider-Man than to see Spider-Man 4. It's a dream of mine. I really want it. I don't think they're going to do it because I think that, like I said, Sony's just not thinking they're not listening to the fans. They're just thinking about what will make them money, and they've been failing every single time. It's fucked up. It doesn't make sense. Please let me know what you think about this whole shit in the comments below. I know that there's a lot of people who are still interested in Spider-Man 4, even though there's not a lot of talk about it right now. I want you guys to come out of hiding and flood the comment section and talk to me about what you'd like to see in Spider-Man 4 and how you feel about them not making Spider-Man 4 to this day, which is so long overdue, Talk about fumbling the fucking bag. Anyways, I'll see you guys. And I gotta enjoy this fucking pizza. I'm out.